radio jamming?
Oh, it's a long story. I'm going to be on a documentary. He's documenting women truck drivers.
Oh. I thought maybe he was making a new comedy show or something, you know. I think that there's a lot of females out here that can do a hell of a lot better job pushing these trucks up and down the road than what a lot of the guys out here do.
That's what I told him. All right, Han, we're going to get up here and beetle down 101 for a little bit. We'll talk to you later. You stay safe. God bless.
Have a good day, Sugar.
I was born in Huntsville, Alabama. I was raised in Front Royal, Virginia, or right outside Front Royal, Virginia, a community of probably 54 people on a 100-acre farm. We had to go out and gather the chickens, eggs, and feed the chickens, and just typical farm life. I had to go get my breakfast before I ate it. My father ran off when my mother was pregnant with my youngest brother. I have 7 brothers, by the way. I'm the only girl. I guess that's why I do this for a living, which was very interesting when I was growing up. I didn't want the dollhouse at Christmas. I didn't want, you know, the tea set. I wanted what my brothers had. You know, I remember one Christmas they all got guns and fishing poles, and I got a dollhouse. Well, I had a fit. And day after Christmas, my granddaddy took me down to Sears and got me my gun and got me my fishing pole. I mean, Kelly, whatever Kelly wanted, Kelly got. Grandpa made sure of that. My best experience in life was I was in Laredo, living in Laredo, Texas, to a Hispanic man and who wouldn't work, who beat on me. He stayed drunk. Every dime that we could scrape up, he used for drugs. And it just seemed like I had this pattern in my life. And I got down on my hands and knees out in the front yard on the sidewalk, and I looked up. Lord God, you know, it's thundering and lightning and raining, and it hardly ever rains in Texas, but when it does, it pours down. I just looked up to the Lord and give me a reason to keep on living, because this is it. I'm checking out. I cannot do this no more. Whatever I'm doing wrong, you know, lead me into the right direction. The very next day, I met my husband now, John. And as soon as I laid eyes on him, I knew God had answered my prayer. And it built my faith up into the Lord. And I thank God every day for bringing that man into my life. He's not only changed my life 360 degrees, but he's also given me this. I mean, I know it's not much. You know, we paid more for this truck than we'll probably ever pay for a house. But he's given me a direction into my life.
not very big in here to really move around, but it's a lot bigger than the other trucks we had.
Yeah.
My first truck was a little cracker box. It's a little Ford, an old Ford. This is our kitchen dining area, I guess you could say. Our microwave. We got a refrigerator in here and our television set. I've been driving for 10 years. It'll be 10 years May 25th of this year. And I started when I went to school. I went to MTA driving school in 1988 and graduated. Well, I guess the end of 1988. I graduated in January of 1989. Took me a year and a half to get a job because when I walked in, they expected me to be a secretary instead of a truck driver. I was struggling. I was making maybe $800 a month, struggling. I was probably starving to death, trying to make ends meet. And the job that I had, I was going nowhere, and I just couldn't stand being in four walls anymore, and I wanted to travel, and I wanted to see new places and do things, and I thought about what I wanted to do, and that's pretty much one of the reasons why I got into truck driving. I wanted to make some money and travel.
Well, when we met in New Paris, Ohio, just at the Indiana state line, leaving a truck stop. And she was bobtailing, didn't have a trailer on, and I chased her kind of down the highway and started talking to her. And we went to lunch that day. We argued that day, first meeting, and
I like her.
She didn't like me. Actually, she did not like me at all. We departed in Kansas City, Missouri, and she wasn't going to give me her phone number, but she did, and she got mad at me. She told me she wanted me to meet up, and I told her I might have to be back on the East Coast the next following day, and that's how we basically met. Well, about 3 months after that, she said she wanted commitment. And I took that as a sign of getting married, and I said, okay.
I didn't expect us to get married as fast as we did, but we did.
Yeah.
And it was rough the first 3 years in the truck, being newlyweds.
And independent.
And I was very bullheaded and stubborn, and I learned my way of driving, and he learned his way of driving. He grew on me, you know, like mold.
I don't know how many times people have come up to me and said, "You're a truck driver?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You don't look like a truck driver." I said, "So, exactly, what does a truck driver look like?" It's like, they have this image of what we're supposed to look like. What's this old boy doing? That's right. Tag his bed. Did you see what he just tried to do here? He just goes ahead and gets around me and passes me instead of wait. Everybody is so impatient. There's a lot of good drivers, men and women out here. There's a lot of things for that, but I'm sure if you've been at that truck stop that long, you know that. I ain't got too much nice to say about them damn driving truck institutions. Anybody that wants to get out here and drive a big truck should have to at least team for a whole year. If they don't team for a whole year, they ain't got no business being on the road. And see, it's 1:30 Eastern, 1:30, 12:30, 11:30, so it's only 10:30. But she told me my dispatch, send her over as soon as she get here, because apparently they only get so much lettuce a day. If you're not there, you might not get a load. Well, I gotta go to Florida. I don't want to wait till tomorrow. I've already done waited today. My name is Joan Rogers, and I drive a semi, and I've been driving for about 15 years, and they call me Lady Southpaw. I know I'm not married. I do have 2 wonderful kids, and they live with their dad. We all get along great. We've never really fought a whole lot. The kids know that this is what I do, and in fact, they go with me quite a bit in the summer. Well, when I was 18, I mean, there was 9 of us kids in my family, and I just went ahead and I started bartending, working odd jobs around there. And my uncle, well, a lot of my uncles hauled milk because we were in Wisconsin, and he kind of influenced me on, he said, hey, you can be a truck driver, there ain't no reason you can't do that. And I said, well, maybe I will.
I grew up on a farm and under the Blue Ridge Parkway, way back in the mountains. You used to have to ride 2 school buses to get to school. 2 different ones. My dad was a moonshiner and a brick mason. He built about every house there just about and made moonshine. And we had cows, pigs, chickens, rabbits, goats, horses, gardens, you name it, we had it. My grandpa had a dairy, and we had a lot of hard work growing up.
Did you help with the moonshine?
Yeah.
Forced to.
Yeah, a lot of times we had to carry 3 jugs in each hand, or you ain't worth diddly. So you pretty much have to be stout. Before I started driving a truck, I did landscaping, and he took some time off, and we did a lot of roofing, landscaping, masonry work, things like that, side jobs, painting houses, things like that. We save anywhere from $800 a week, sometimes a little more than that we're putting back. We have a house that we're making payments on, and we don't get to stay there much, but we keep all our belongings locked up and safe. It's a good, comfortable few days off when we ever get them. We were at a truck stop one time, and there was this really giant, big woman truck driver. She was chewing tobacco and everything, and had a cowboy hat, cowboy boots. She was like this, real big. She was spitting tobacco on the ground and giving me dirty looks. And I looked at Mike. I said, Mike, should I get in the truck? He said, honey, get in the truck. Get in the truck now. Because she was kind of,
I couldn't figure her
she
out.
was threatening me or something, because she'd get close onto my side of the fuel pump. We were both, he pumps one side and I pumped the other. And she just kept inching over at me, and she'd spit that tobacco. And I got scared. So I just got in the truck, and he finished fueling, and we left.
Are you guys planning to get married?
One day. We've been together almost 3 years. Going on 3 years. And we're just taking our time.